You are watching the number one podcast in the whole entire YouTube wrestling community, and I'm one of your hosts, Wanzo.
And I'm your other host, Jean-Paul Leck.
Together we are Robert. And on a different day, we're going to be talking about AEW Dynamite, the go-home show for Double or Nothing. A lot of things that are still scratching our heads. I mean, the main event seems okay, like with the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle, just okay. The world title picture is just, absolutely terrible, down, probably the worst build-up that you have for like an AEW World Championship match. But, we're going to be talking about everything, new look for the women's title, so a lot of things, and always beatdowns, in the end, there's always beatdowns. Like weigh-ins that like don't really matter. Can we teach the Big Show or Paul White how to weigh, like how to use the scale before he does that? Anyway, what do you think, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, I guess excited for the pay-per-view. I am going to look forward to it, watching it and everything, of course, covering it here for the family. But for a go-home show, there was really only one or two segments that, felt right. And a lot of them would have felt a lot better if Tony Khan could just reel himself back and just not end everything in a beatdown. Maybe just end some segments in a stare down, or just end some segments where, hey, the heel looked good last week. This week, the babyface stands on top. Who knows who's going to win at the pay-per-view? You don't need to have both sides constantly beating each other up in a big pull apart or anything, but that's just typical AEW. I don't think it's going to change until the executives and the people who put his shows on TV tell him it has to change.
Yes, exactly. So it was on a different day. So family, thank you so very much for being with us. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Also, give the video a like so it keeps going up in the rankings. Don't forget, yesterday live, John Paul and myself, we went to Smackdown. And, pretty decent. Overall, decent is the grade we will give him, like a C minus, just to like they pass, they don't fail. But like a family affair for next week, a lot of everybody speculating just about the Usos and Mysterio and Dominic. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, like what we've been saying for the longest time, the main thing that carries, the blue brand here is the feud with the tribal chief, the Samoan dynasty and all that. And that, is now bleeding into this story with the Mysterios. Who knows? I proposed it last night. The Mysterios are going to have a very short title reign, which Rey Mysterio is used to in WWE. He's like, get used to it. Get used to it, mijo.
Everything according to the size, Yeah, and I'm sure so I can say it, yes.
Exactly. Or they're going to maybe go the other way and, cause a lot of friction in the family. Roman says, if you get in these big matches, you better win. Maybe they won't win, and that'll cause a lot of tension. So, we got to wait and see. But SmackDown is usually always, I said it last night, the best, brand probably in WWE.
In the main roster, absolutely right.
Yeah, besides NXT.
So, Paul, Tony Khan, before the show went on air, he actually was addressing Nick Khan, the president of WWE, about this, news that, were, around the whole world about this possible, companionship or, association between AEW, not AEW, because with New Japan and WWE, they want a possible, agreement. He was actually saying that he's one that opened the forbidden door. He's had already Nagata. He's had, he has the IWGP US champion in Jon Moxley, all of that. So, I mean, he was really taking shots at WWE. And like Jean-Paul said, if you guys see in the picture, he pushes, what is the thing, Paul?
The biceps. Yeah, it looks like he's trying to push his biceps up, make his arms look a little bit bigger. But yeah, I mean, and if we want to be technical, who really had the first deal with New Japan? Was that, the WWF maybe, or WWF? Definitely for sure. They had to deal with them. WCW had to deal with. So you didn't open no forbidden door. This has been going on way before your time. But, he's mad. And also, see, if he was so good and he ran such a good company, don't you think New Japan would have signed that deal and been like, man, he is the hottest show in wrestling. If we have our guys in there, just think of all the new subscribers and how much money we'll make. No, they probably see this show and go, this is kind of a joke. It's like, you guys are really goofy. You don't do really anything serious. We don't like that. So, no. We put it on Moxley because we thought he would be legit. Now he's, beating up the Young Bucks. So, but, they got to get their title back. Then maybe they'll wash their hands of.
And if you think about it, like you said, all those guys were there, Omega, Cody, Bugs, all of them left New Japan. So there's always that animosity right there. So probably they want to be.
And also, let's be honest. Now, obviously, you have, Japanese wrestling fans who follow Kenny and the Bucks. Oh, where'd they go after New Japan? Oh, they formed AEW. Oh, I'm going to watch AEW. I'm sure they have fans in Japan. But what has even more fans in Japan than AEW? WWE.
Yeah.
And what's New Japan going to do? they're going to try to get the most fans, as they can. So to me, WWE makes the most sense to do. And also, like we said last night, maybe they're going to do something where it's just like, we do 2 shows a year. A big super show, matches that don't matter. They have no storyline implications, whatever. It's just a big spectacle.
Just dream matches, yes.
Yeah, exactly. Or like you said, maybe you do a New Japan Invasion at a Survivor Series. You have guys showing up in the Royal Rumble, like legends. Like, I mean, no, he's retired, but it's like, here's, Jushin Thunder Liger, whatever.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah, exactly. Make an appearance, do something like that. Whatever you do, WWE is going to get the most exposure. It's going to be, the bigger deal for them, more so than AEW. So
a lot of people loving the promo, a lot of people hating it. I just feel, at least everybody's acknowledging everybody. So a little bit of war is not that bad. For me, at least keep taking shots. It makes it interesting for everybody to just keep watching the shows. So this AEW Dynamite Go Home show for Double or Nothing opened up with Darby Allin against Cesar Bononi. This was just quick. Darby Allin wanted to win. Jim Ross said on commentary he just wants a win so he can get the ball going, in this match that they're going to have with Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. So, he got this, Paul, 3 minutes? And, of course, the smaller guy beats, the guy that is ripped. Coffin drop, 1, 2, 3. Sting was right there. Darby gets the win. Do we care about this? No.
Yeah, I mean, this wasn't bad. It was decent. But like you said, Cesar Bononi's so big. But we just know this guy's a jobber. So it's whatever. Of course, Darby Allin, the taped up ribs. I don't know why he wanted to fight right before the pay-per-view. This could have been a match where he just cuts a promo. And then maybe we see a promo from the other guys later on, and that should have been the end of it. But he had this match, like you said, in the beginning, Caesar looked dominant, but then Darby took over, the faster, smaller guy. He made his big comeback, off and drop. 1, 2, 3, and you think, okay,
it's done, right?
Yeah. No, it's never done. And see, I don't know why babyface. This is probably one of the worst things they do is when they say, I don't want to wait for the pay-per-view. Let's fight right now. It's like, dude, shut up. Like, no, we don't want to see
what's the pay-per-view?
Yeah,
these guys come out, of course.
Exactly.
This got to come out, start shit. Oh, yeah. What, you want us to fight right now? For free? Hell no. It's not going to happen. But, yeah, they have interactions, Sting right there. And even Jim Ross that says, he's going to be back in the match. And then, he kind of, had to correct himself because it's, a match that is sanctioned. Because, remember, everybody was like, well, what about the match that they had in the previous pay-per-view in Revolution? So, yeah, I gotta, fix it. So, you got to see the Dark Order coming out. They will take care of, Ethan Page and Sky.
Yeah, because then you had Nemeth and Bononi and all them. They jumped Darby Allin and Sting. And then I would have been like, okay, that's fine. Let the baby faces beat them up, stand tall, end the segment. No, because then Ethan Page and Scorpio run back and jump them, and then, like you said, the Dark Order makes the save, and it's like, why is the Dark Order making the save? It doesn't even make sense. Is it just because they're facing Ethan Page and Sky, with Stu Grayson and Evil Uno? Is that the only reason? I'm like, this is just, it's bad.
Why do they need that much help? Why do they need all these guys? Can they do it on their own?
Exactly. You had a match, you had a segment that you could have just ended it, but you just kept building and building and piling more, wrestling tropes and wrestling, endings and things on top of it that it turned into a mess.
And, Paul, it sucks that, Brody Lee is, it's unfortunate he had to leave because the Dark Order is completely lost. No, they haven't found a new leader. They haven't found, a new path for them because now they have to keep, coming up for, Sting and Darby. Well, if I'm a wrestler, really, do I need to just support these guys or can I do something on my own? I don't
and again, I don't know what his plan was, but when you had Eric, Redbeard or whatever he calls himself now, when he showed up at the one pay-per-view, it was like, oh, no, holy shit, maybe he doesn't want to wrestle. Maybe he's done. I don't know, but that's what
Rogan is actually on NWA.
Okay, well, that would have been the perfect time to just been like, boom, you want to be the new Exalted One? Can, whatever, you guys are similar build, you can be like, oh, you're his long-lost brother, or whatever, Yeah, exactly. Do something. No, not the spider cage. No, but do something like that. Like you said, the Dark Order just feels lost because Hangman was never going to be the leader.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go to the women. Even if you think that was pretty much acceptable, that's fine. But this was just terrible. The Big Show pulled wide in the way with Anthony Ogogo and Cody Rhodes. This is just terrible. And we're going to start with what? Ogogo brings everybody like from the factory. That's acceptable. Why? Because it's their guys, right? Like they're all good group. So like he has to bring everybody. But really, Cody needs to bring like the whole freaking like Nightmare Factory, his family, his kids, like cousins, everybody. Like
who's that blonde there? Is that Dustin's wife?
No, it's actually Cody's their sister.
Their sister. No, well, there you go.
Their sister is there with her, and they don't really know wrestling. I mean, we don't know who she is. Why is she there? Red Velvet.
You want to know who should have been there? You could have had Cody, Dustin, and maybe like Austin Gunn or Billy Gunn or one of them, because I think QT or exactly. Because one of them had a match with like Austin Gunn last week or something. Somebody in the QT's Nightmare Factory, whatever the hell he calls it. But so just 2 or 3 people, to bring out this entourage, especially when Big Show just said to Anthony Ogogo, he's like, "Oh, you got to bring out everybody. What the hell? Hurry up, let's go." And then Cody brings out it's like a clown car emptying, and like 30 clowns come out.
20 more people.
What the hell?
20 more people, And
to me, this was the worst segment. Like if I was in a torture, whatever encampment in a third world country, and they said, "Okay, we're gonna stick bamboo shoots under your fingernails. We're gonna burn your skin off. We're gonna do all this stuff to you, or we're gonna make you watch every Cody Rhodes segment in the history of AEW." I'd be like, "Please, the bamboo under the finger."
The bamboo is fine because again, it's not that we just hate Cody, but the way that it's presented is overly exposed, overly done. You have to bring everybody to make him look like okay, he's like just the best guy.
Now I understand. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but now I finally agree and understand the way Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks think when they hate this guy.
Yeah, it seems that way because he's like, he has to have everybody there, and it doesn't make any sense. And also the Big Show botching, Nice not even able to use this correctly. Yeah. That was awful. Turns out to be that Ogogo is 219, then Cody is 218. So you see your QT Marshall. Well, he's a pound stronger, he's a pound bigger, and all of that. So it's gonna be great. He's gonna beat him really quick. The only savable thing about this is there's crowds. Finally, they have a lot of people in the show, and that at least for me, I want your thoughts really quick on this. At least it made it a little better, because the energy, you feel like everybody's just feeding out from energy.
Yeah, the only thing I will say about that is go watch the first couple Dynamites, especially when they first formed the Inner Circle and, all that stuff was really kicking off. And then listen to this crowd tonight. Now, obviously, this, Daly's place might not have been packed to capacity. You saw a lot of the lights were off, so I'm sure that had something to do with it. But don't you think the people who are going to show up now are the real diehard fans?
Yes.
No, to me, there was some noise, but it was mostly, because they still sent out the paid jabronis. There was still the paid, other undercard wrestlers still in the crowd that were cheering and going crazy. No, there was some energy, but not like it used to be.
But what I'm saying is, it makes it a little bit better because if there's nobody, there's just the same guys that they get paid to cheer, or to move themselves and all of that. It just makes it look.
And the only thing I'll say to that is if you put a very nice fresh, pasta sauce or something on some spoiled rotten noodles. It might be nice sauce, but it's the noodles are still
rotten. Yeah, you're right. And even worse, we're gonna go to here like this. Christian K is going against Powerbomb Hops.
Powerhouse.
Powerhouse, Powerbomb, same thing. Powerhouse Bombs or Hops. There you go. They just went at it. They kind of showcase the Casino Battle Royale that they're gonna have, and they have 2 days to recuperate. Who cares about this?
Yeah, and Christian even got the upper hand now, Paul.
Yeah, he should have been fighting Omega.
Yeah, Christian even got the upper hand. Well, I think he's going to win this because he got the upper hand on Hobbs here. And now Christian, we always think of him as a small guy, but that's because in WWE, everybody was huge. But when you see him here, he's actually pretty tall and everything. So him and Hobbs, he was actually taller than Hobbs, but you would think, well, Hobbs is the bigger, younger guy. Maybe have him look good here. Or, better yet, don't even have this segment. It was just so weird. It doesn't get me excited. You know what would get me excited? You do it like a Royal Rumble. If I win the Casino Battle Royal and I challenge Kenny Omega, I know I can beat him. He's a pussy. He uses Callis and the Bucks. If he gets in a one-on-one match with me, he doesn't stand a chance, blah, blah, blah. Cut a legit promo, do something like that.
Just that, just that. None of this segment was needed. This segment was not needed at all. Neither is this. You know, like, oh, Jericho and everybody talking about just the Stampede match, the Stadium Stampede match. Oh, yeah, we know how to do it. Yeah, we've done it before. It was really terrible. Like, oh, we can use everything. We got our strategies. I don't know how they're gonna do this, man. Yeah, you know. I got 2 more years of this crap. Yeah.
I'm collecting my paycheck, man. I'm going to WWE. I'm going back. Vince, I'm sorry. He'll do the kiss my ass segment on TV. Vince, I'm sorry. Come here. And like, it's bad.
Yeah, like that will be. No, it was just, like we know it. Like they're hyping the match. It's fine. In the end, we know they're gonna.
But the problem with this is the stadium again. If it was just them on a field, and there was maybe a ring there as well, and they had like equipment, and they didn't go all over the stadium, and it was mostly in a ring, and I don't know, because football is popular, whatever, do some cross promotion shit. But this match is such a comedy joke, but they're trying to present it that it's so serious.
Yeah.
In this promo, and it's like oil and water. It don't mix. I know this match is comedy. I know it's bullshit. I know Jericho can't help himself. He loves to do his comedy. So it's not, you can't present it as serious. So to me, this was a joke. I see it and I laugh. I can't.
It's not great because, like you said, like it's a lot of condiments that you can use.
And I laugh even harder at the people like Jim Ross and these other ones that are trying to sell it like it's serious. Like, oh man, this match, if they lose, they got to break up. And well, if it's so serious, why are they going to be doing comedy for 90%?
Yeah, no, I will say, like you said, like we're looking forward just other type of matches. This one, and we know the Inner Circle is going to win. Because everybody, if we lose, we're going to break up. If we lose, we're going to break up. Unless they really, like, do the swerve, then...
I mean, to me, like, and to go quick, breaking them up would be actually a better thing. The Proud and Powerful can go back to the tag team division. Guevara can go after the mid-card title. Hager can do whatever. He can just hang out with Jericho and be Jericho's bodyguard.
Be the bodyguard.
Yeah, done. Boom.
If they do the swerve, it's going to be better. But we're going to talk about the main event when the main event comes up. Adam Hamlin Page against Joey Janela. This was actually a pretty decent match. Janela finally looked decent in the match. The only thing, they know that he's a problematic dude outside of the ring, so like that's why they don't really promote him. I don't think that they push him because it's like he bashes a lot of people. Nobody likes him. He's been trained of suicidal thoughts and all of that, or killing other people too. So like that's why Adam Hamlin Page went over really fast. 5-6 minutes. I mean, he did.
Yeah, it actually went a little longer than I thought, and Hangman kind of put Janela over a little bit in this, and I guess they had a match of All Out 2019. I think they said it was. Yeah. I really don't even remember that match. I know, I know we did it, but it's like I don't remember it. So that shows you how much.
That's how memorable the match was.
Exactly, but. Hangman, he even took the big elbow from Janela, which the elbow drop looked pretty good.
Oh,
it wasn't Kyrie Sane, it wasn't Randy, it wasn't even Sean or anything.
It wasn't even Bailey.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it looked good for Janela. But when I'm watching this match, I'm like, see, that's when I see Hangman Adam Page. It's like if you take him plus Meth and McDonald's, then he'll look like Joey Janela.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But I mean, yeah, like you said, Hangman pretty good win for him. Buckshot Larry,
he got busted open too.
Yeah, I did like the color, especially that looked good for the next segment. That immediately followed this. After the match, but it was decent. But we're not going to see anything from Janela, like you said.
Oh no, yeah, exactly. He probably will be in the Battle Royale, and that's where he's going to have his place right there because everybody else that is not featuring main caliber matches, they're just going to be there. And then like you said, Taz is like the line that killed me is like Adam. And then you see him he's just turning around.
Yeah, he's like, over here, bro.
Over here, bro. Like, really? He's like, are you that short or you don't know where?
And also, see, to me, I don't know why Hangman couldn't have. Now, this was probably the best of the aftermatch segments, but why it couldn't have been Taz was on commentary. Hangman wins, and then the other three guys can say, oh, he looked pretty good. Maybe, his winning ways will continue on Sunday. And Taz could just said something like, yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
Throws his headset off and done. Hangman raises his arm in the ring. We go to commercial, or we go to the next segment. You could have ended it right like that. But instead, it's like whenever Taz is on commentary, or Don Callis, or whoever, as soon as it's over, they get a cue in their ear, quick, run to the ring, because it's bullshit. And they're like, oh, God, they throw that thing off, and it's like, it's every single segment. It's not, and that's not an over-exaggeration. It's literally every
single segment. So he had at least Brian Cage came out, and they had a good talk and that one thing you say is oh, I know you're gonna bring Ricky Starks, I know you're gonna bring everybody else. It's like, can you do it on your own? Come on. And then at least Brian Cage accepted to do that. And he's like, okay, you want a piece of me? You want a piece of the machine? Okay, let's do it. And at least they had a good stare down because they didn't go at it. See, they keep it in the ring. They're going to keep it like for what it is in Double or Nothing. So it's good. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah,
because any of these guys, could be the new number one contender.
Oh yeah, and hopefully they do something like that. I would say after the Casino Battle Royal winner, I would say I still think Christian is going to win that. Do Christian versus Omega, and after that you can do Hangman versus Omega, because then by that point you can take the belt off of Omega. I think people will be done with him as champion by that point. But even though people are already done with him as champion, but I like this, especially the line when Hangman's like, because he knows Brian Cage from other places they wrestled. He's like, dude. He's like, you're better than this. You're not bullshit. And he's pretty much like, why don't you face me like a man without them? Don't bring Team Taz. Just you. Because you guys always jump or you attack me before the match or anything. Yeah, he's like, be legit. He's like, and then Brian Cage accepted. So this is the one match I am looking forward to.
Exactly. So we're going to see this. It's going to be good. The one thing, again, can they actually have the right timing when you do the show? Don't start a promo and then you go on commercial break. Can you wait for the commercial break and then go to the promo with these guys? They started out talking.
I was laughing so bad. I thought it was a glitch. I was like, what? Because like he said, he gets 2 words in and then boom, commercial.
And then they start the promo all over again. I mean, I don't know who it is, there's a lot of guys that they shouldn't be working in AEW because their mistakes are so noticeable that, they make the company look bad. It makes the show look bad. I know it's 10:30, it's 10:45. A lot of people are already, it's bedtime for them. That's fine. At least get somebody that is going to do
I wonder if it's like if it's a WWE guy who got a job with them and he's like a double agent. He's like, yee.
Oh, yeah, he's fucking them up. He's like, yee. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. So they got a promo. They said, they like stakes, right? Or they want to get that and they want to use all their claws for those tag team belts with the Young Bucks. And
I did like the one line. I'm sure you popped for it too when he's like, yeah, we've been going after. And what's the name of Ned Flanders' kids in The Simpsons?
Todd and Rod.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, we've been going after Todd and Rod Flanders the past couple of weeks, So when you called him that, I popped for that. I was like, that's
right.
But yeah, like he said, he's like, yeah, we're not the best tag team. We're not even a tag team. We're just a group of guys.
Like that.
Yeah, and he's like, we're just a group of guys that have been thrown together, and we have each other's backs, and we're not the best, well-oiled, polished machine like you guys are. But we're just a bunch of hungry dogs, and to us, those tag belts are, T-bone steaks. We're going to sink our teeth into them. But, so it was a good promo. Like we always say, these guys are a good promo.
They're legit.
Yeah, we can't be like, oh, they suck at promo. No, that's the one thing you can't deny. But, we just know how hard this team is getting pushed when there's, like we said last week, which was an awful match, in the main event. The Griff Garrison, the Varsity Blondes, the Young Bucks, SCU got broken up. The Jurassic Express feels like an afterthought. Like we said, all these legit tag teams are just getting screwed over. And then 2 single stars, Moxley and Kingston, boom. And
that's the problem, like you said. And also how they, like you said, the push. How you sell me to, they're the best tag team in the world. 2 weeks and you're already sold good. Like you said, overseeing all these other guys that they've been there since the beginning on AEW. So that's the one thing. But the match probably is going to be good. We'll see, but like you already said that they're going to give the titles to these guys. They're probably going to do that because the Young Bucks is just like, the run is not big.
Well, I mean, you would think they would, but honestly, as we get closer and I'm really thinking about it, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like Omega's going to hold the belt for a while and the Bucks are going to want to keep, holding on to their belt. So maybe they'll try to get heat by beating these guys. Who knows?
Maybe, like you said, that could be. That's not bad either. So I'm not really against it. So that will be fine. So
I'm to be honest, I'm indifferent to whoever wins this.
Exactly. That's the worst. So let's go to Orange Cassidy is going to respond to Kenny Omega, offered to this, defer this title shot, and we instead of getting Orange Cassidy right away, we got Pac. So Pac got a really good promo saying, kind of like the Warrior wannabe, another one that has like the, the ropes around the muscles and all of that. I don't like that. But, he says like he's going to win a Double or Nothing. He's going to make the championship relevant again. He doesn't need, this Cassidy or Omega. He's like, I'm the only one that beat you. And he has one or 2 wins over Kenny Omega. So really good intensity from Pac. But then Kenny Omega tried to jump in because Don Callis was on the screen and all of that.
Another interruption. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, normal, right? Nah, they can never cut a legit promo. Just stick it to the, something that has to have a beat down. Has to have something happening from the back. Then Kenny Omega, like you see it right there with like Orange Cassidy, he hands him like the paper that he has given him to him last week, and then he's all shred. Shred is just shreds, and then he attacks. Kenny Omega does the Superman punch. Like what is how do they call it?
The orange punch.
Oh, the online Superman, but the same garbage. And then Pac tried to jump on Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy takes care of both. And then you see this picture, and both of us are just like worried.
The title will be the end. No, that's not going to be. Whenever that's the old school rule. You hold up the belt, you stand strong. You're going to lose at the pay-per-view. And how sad is it that that belt looks like it weighs almost as much as he does?
Yeah, yeah. He's actually going down.
Yeah, I didn't even know if he could pick it up with his arms. He looks so just like small next to the belt. I know it's a huge belt, but it's like, oh my god, he would not be good as a champion. And no, like you said, Pac, he got beat up by the Good Brothers and all this stuff, and shredded the contract, or the the deferral, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and how is this their main title? How is this, and to me, also when the main title isn't even the main event, to me, if the title picture was presented good and you still wanted to do the Stadium Stampede match, that should be the second to last match.
Yes,
the title should always be the main event, but it won't be because this is all bullshit. I mean, one way to get out of here and do a reset would be put the belt on the Pac. But to me, they're not going to do that.
No.
Obviously, it's going to stay on Omega.
Yeah. They just have these two guys having like a join, and it should have been Christian for me. It would have been much more legit. It would have been, more for me exciting. Because, like I said, Orange Cassidy, the character is okay. You might like him, you might dislike him. It's fine. But I don't think he was ready for a championship opportunity yet when he hasn't been built up to, make me believe that he can actually beat Omega. And that's why they added Pac. So bring like some legitimacy into the match. But we'll see what happens.
And also the way that he was super concussed and, done last week or 2 weeks ago, just leave him out of the match. Just be like, oh, he's done, blah, blah, blah. Omega can cut a promo on him. Then if you want to do that match later on, for whatever reason you can. But yeah,
exactly. So, Paul, let's go to the next one. And this is Jade Cargill. She finally has a manager. It's going to be Mark Sterling. She's going to be, she finally accepted him because, hey, he gets paid every single time she wins. He's a pro bono guy. So good stuff. And do we really care about this? Not too much. She's going to have a match against Kaylin, and Kaylin Dean, I think is the name. And she just got the match. It was really quick, not much like to say about this. The only thing I want your thoughts about it, she uses like the Glam Slam also as the finisher, and now Taya Valkyrie is using the same thing also on NXT. So like a little like the same thing, same move. So she probably is going to have to change it down the line.
No, I think they'll keep doing it. Hey, in wrestling, you can't really make any new moves because, the more new moves keep getting made, the more dangerous they are. So soon you're going to be killing your opponent in the ring. And, everybody loves Beth Phoenix. Hell, we watched the Icons thing. We were crying. We were, smiling. We loved it. Everybody loved Beth Phoenix, especially these women who grew up and wanted to be pro wrestlers. So, let them use it. I got no problem with it. And, like you said, it's a move. What are you going to do? Oh, you can't use the super kick anymore. Oh, you can't use the Canadian Destroyer. You can't use the German suplex. People are going to...
Pete is going to, like, trademark that. It's like, don't use it. It gives me money. So, like, use it. But, like, at least, I think that, like, by the end of the year, this woman probably will be the champion. Or maybe, once you have the championship on a baby face, she will be the next one that takes it away from her.
I would say you got to improve the promo a little bit more, and I don't know if they're gonna run with her as a heel champion, especially because the one thing we got to say about their champions is the long title reigns. That's the one thing I will say to Tony Khan. Okay, at least you're legit for the title reigns. TNT champion with Brody Lee and everything. I'll overlook all that with Cody and stuff because I don't know. Maybe he dropped it back to Cody because he wasn't feeling well. We don't know the whole story, whatever. But this is. It's not, every other title, they had long title reigns, so you got to think if the belt's going to go to Britt Baker, which we'll talk about in a little bit, how long then till it goes to a baby face to then go to Jade Cargill, unless they would turn her baby face, but I don't know.
Exactly. So, no, yeah, you're right. So we'll see what happens with Jade, but at least, more wins under her belt. She's looking dominant, so that's a really cool. Let's go to Lars Archer and also the Snake. We're not even allowed to call him the Snake, so Jake Roberts. And then they just got a promo on Miro because they're going to have the match for the TNT Championship. And then he goes, oh, yeah, I'm all for Dante. Dante can have a great match, but I push my ticket for Miro. So you see, like, that's why do you have a championship match, the go home show before a pay-per-view? I don't know why it's that needed, but they, like you said, like Lance Archer as a babyface is not that much believable because he came out as heel, and heel is how he should stay. The fact that they never gave him a championship, that's what really hurt him. And the Snake, completely lost.
Oh yeah, and also why does he need to be like, oh yeah, no respect, no disrespect to Dante Martin? Who cares? Even if you're a babyface, people are gonna think you're badass when you're dominating and you're legit. People don't want to see somebody who's apologetic and I'm sorry. No, I mean, yeah, if you want to beat up Miro, whatever, that's good. But yeah, I mean, especially with what we saw then later on with Lance Archer and Jake, it's like, why do we need to see these people multiple times a night?
And yeah, well, that's bad. Like the match, TNT Championship match with one guy from the Top Flight, Dante Martin and Miro. This was quick. Also, like Dante, a little bit of offense. Miro was supposed to be the guy showcase dominant. He did, the accolade, and now he actually bounces, like you said, and maybe he can like be confusing, like because you could actually tell that he's being pinned or something. But then you see the submission, he gets the championship. Yeah, we think that he was going to lose. No way. Then Lance Archer came out. They had another promo, and even Rusev's microphone wasn't even working. So he's like, can you please turn on my microphone? So there you go. Another mistake. All of those things happen. This live TV, it's fine. But then the Snake was cutting the promo. He actually spoke in Bulgarian or Russian, one of the two. And then, you see Lance Archer going at him. This is...
I was going to say, I think when he was speaking that, he might have just been speaking gibberish and just trying to make fun of him. I don't know if he was actually speaking the language, but yeah, like this wasn't good. And especially because, we just saw that promo. Now they do this, and they have to come out, and again, you have to attack. It couldn't just been, a stare down or something like that. It's the same thing we see all the time with every match, and maybe if you did this just for championship matches or something, okay, at least those feel special. But when you do it for every single match, none of it feels special. Nothing feels, legit or exciting. And also, let's say Lance Archer wins. What was Miro's title reign? Then again, then the TNT Championship, I think, is the hot potato of this company because, Darby had it for a little bit, decent run. And then, okay, it goes to Miro. He holds it for 2 weeks. It goes to Lance Archer. So that would be good.
If you were going to use Paul, like you were going to use Lance Archer as babyface, why isn't he facing Omega then?
Yeah, and also, what are you going to do then? With Miro, where is he going to go? Because is he going to challenge Omega? Because you think Miro should have a long title run, win, and maybe go to Omega because the way they're pushing him. And if Miro loses to Lance Archer, what's Lance Archer going to do? This is a match that you should have built these guys up, and it booked it at maybe the next pay-per-view in a couple months.
Yeah, absolutely right. I agree with you, Paul. Let's go to the next one. 1 year anniversary of Hikaru Shida's run and reign as the AEW Women's Champion. But they gave him another championship. What did you think of it? I feel it's like the new design is legit.
It looks just a little bit bigger. Like they took it in Photoshop and just like stretched it, made it a little bit bigger, and it's like looks more gold, or at least more of a yellowy gold.
Yes,
that looks almost kind of like a silverish kind of gold on the other one. I mean, it's a nice title belt. I'm thinking like, oh, it kind of sucks. Like they gave it to her. Now they're like, enjoy it for 2 days.
Well, yeah, that's what they do. That's typical, like WWE fashion on AEW. So they have the same guys. So it's probably the same politics. But like she cut in the promo, she says, "Hey, it's legit that all of you are here now. So there's more crowds, the reaction, the energy. I can feed out from all of that. But now the best heel and the best person on AEW, let's just say, the only person that actually has evolved in a positive way is Britt Baker. The evolution of this woman like that. At the beginning of AEW, remember, hesitant, doubtful of everything. The moves maybe didn't come out as well. She got
and she was also a babyface.
Yes, babyface.
Now when she became a heel, she learned, how to grow into her, her persona.
That guy was like.
I'm sure he helped.
That's why he hasn't been on NXT, because he's helping the girl. She comes out, delivers a great promo. Paul, remember, she said, I'm not only going to be the face of the women's division, but also I'm going to be the face of a new era. Remember the era of the 316? Mm-hmm. Now it's going to be the era of DMD. So legit, when she delivers that, I was never a big fan of hers, but like the whole evolution and the girl that she's become is absolutely amazing. So there is no possible way in hell that she's not going to win that title on Sunday night, Jean Paul.
Yeah, I mean, I like this promo, and it was good. This again was another interruption that was good. But to me, I would have had it. Again, I had no problem with this, but if I was doing it, I would have had it where, because Hikaru Shida right before that, she's like, I won the title, for me, but I also won it for you and for you, and she's like pointing to the crowd, and then when she was like turning and she got to maybe like near the ramp, her music should have hit, Baker should have stood there, walked to the ring, and then she's like, or says something like, and now like I'm gonna win it, or like from you, or just say like one word, or just say something and like now it's mine. Just give me one thing, because it's so long people come out and they cut these promos. Save these for, the video package to hype me up, on Sunday.
No, they're going to have
be
that.
like
that show today. They're going to have that, yeah. So it's true. But I mean, at least I like what she said, the 316 and all of that. So like she acknowledges other things. So the problem with the quality was good, but like you said, it's when it's overly done, because every segment needs to be in the same fashion, is really tiring. And even Hikaru Shida was like, And in the end, he's like, okay, I'm just going to post and I'm just going to leave. So it didn't feel like that much great, but I feel that like Britt Baker as the character, though, sells the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, she's great.
And thank you to Shida. She had a really good run. It's time. We'll see what she does. Maybe she goes like to Japan again. Maybe she just go back to other promotions. She takes a little break like Io did. So, we'll see what happens on that. But now tell me a little bit about this match that like doesn't really make any sense. I mean, I like finally Evil Uno and Stu Grayson look decent in the ring. They had a lot of pump when AEW first started. Now they're absolutely done. And, Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. If you're Josh Alexander, he's going to have an Iron Man match with TJP for the X Division Championship on Impact. Look, that's evolution. This is, like, to me, a downgrade when you do this for Ethan Page.
Oh, yeah, and people love to say how shitty Impact is. I mean, they're not the greatest, but at least, if they want to get somebody over and present them legit, like Josh Alexander, that's exactly what they're going to do. But, yeah, I mean, this match, again, what was there to get into it? This, it was good. Scorpio Sky's a hell of a wrestler. Ethan Page isn't bad, even though his gimmick is shit. And, Stu Grayson is good. Evil Uno's all right, I guess.
He's all right.
Yeah, he's not the best guy in the world or anything, but, I mean, Stu Grayson, I think, makes up for it. He's really good, but there was nothing for me to get hooked into this match. I didn't care. Commentary the whole time saying, these guys talking about the heels, they're real good. They could be challenging the Bucks, all this stuff. They're legit. Scorpio Sky used to be tag champ, blah, blah, blah. Like, I really didn't care, because I knew when it was over, we were going to see Darby and Sting. I know they're going to come out. I don't care. The heels get the win. He hit the whatever Scorpio's finisher is.
And it's like the submission hold.
Yeah, and then he hit the Razor's Edge and, pin 1, 2, 3. And then again, in the picture, Darby came out and a bunch of people wearing Sting masks. And again, this shows you how Tony Khan is a mark. You might know the event. I don't. It might have just been a Nitro or something. But they all get in the ring and they start punching the one, and he lifts up the mask, and it's Sting underneath. So what do you know what was that show where Sting had the mask on and he pulled it off?
I don't remember, like the exact show, but like you said, it's been done before.
That obviously was a callback to when that happened. So, and then oh my God, and then they all started fighting and everything, and, it was just, what was the point of this?
And why Sting in like 2 segments? Why?
Yeah, we saw this in the beginning of the show, so
that
it should have been done.
That should have been done. Yes. No, I don't want to keep seeing him. Like, Sting is not like the focal point of the show. No. Like, he's a 62-year-old man.
Maybe they're really trying to hype it up. Oh, his first in-ring official match in 6-7 years, whatever it is, but how legit is it going to be? We know it's not going to be old school Stinger, sends him into the corner, big Stinger splash, woo, go jumps.
And especially if you're going to bury Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky, that those 2 guys actually are your future. Why do you need to get
Maybe they're doing this because they really want to, they're pissed at WWE. They did the first father-son. They were hoping to do it with Sting and Darby. So maybe they're really trying to push them in the tag division now. I don't know.
They should come up with a story that he's actually his kid. He didn't know, had a one-night stand, and that's when he came on. That's why he was the face paint. But again, overly done.
No, I was born in a dumpster outside of Monday Nitro.
And he has to come on and make it up, and that's why they're teaming up and all of that. Like the match, what bothered me? Oh, you can actually steal the show. How can they steal the show? The winners are not going to be good.
With all the matches we've seen on the card, it might. A lot of these matches aren't going to be good.
If that's the case, we're actually going backwards. But that's what we had, and then let's go to like the main event. The main event is like there's a celebration of the Inner Circle. We got to see Eric Bischoff, so it didn't matter like that he was put in the Hall of Fame in the WWE. Like, hey, don't go to like AEW again. Be legit with us. No, it's fine. Jericho came out, Judas, everybody singing the same thing. That's every single show. Can you at least give me another song? That album has more legit songs besides Judas. It has Burn Me Out. It has Painless. It has all these great songs. No, says Judas. Now they said they're been trying to mend with people, right, Paul? It's like, oh, we've been mending. We've changed our ways. We look really shitty as babyface, but that's what we got to do. So, hey, thank you for my career in WCW. Thank you for the legitimacy that you did. That, to me, killed it right there. Out. I'm out.
Oh, yeah, and how bad was it that they're like, oh, and then Bischoff's like, oh, it's okay, Chris, I love you, it's legit. He's like, let's look at all the highlights, of the Inner Circle. And the first thing they start is where Jericho says, oh, that was a bad idea from bullshit creative.
Yeah.
Talking about Jake Hager, Jack Swagger and everything.
Yeah,
And isn't it funny, because at the time, AEW in their short history at that point, we were like, oh, that's legit, because they were presenting pretty good stuff. Yes. Now when we look back at it, they might have the worst creative.
Oh well,
so it's like it's funny that they play that, and that's a little ironic.
And as time developed, it got really bad. Like you said, all of them had a piece of saying, Santana is finally back, Ortiz. They all say like, well, some of the good, like some lines were really interesting. For example, Sammy, when he said, well, before the Inner Circle, he used to come out with a panda bear, like hat and all of that. I like that. And then he goes, now I'm part of like the biggest factions in professional wrestling. He's like, thank you guys, because I know with you I was legit. I finally was able to reaffirm myself, all of that. So I like Sammy. Hager was okay too.
And how about Jericho saying that they're like Guns N' Roses?
Oh yeah,
Jericho thinks he's what's his name from
Axl Rose.
Yeah.
Axl Rose. We look like Guns N' Roses on 1987, and right there, you see the shirt Paul does the cover of Appetite for Destruction. So that's why they imitate that. It's the same Guns N' Roses from the first album. So, I mean, they hug. It's like, love you guys. It's legit. We break up. I mean, baby faces, Jericho as baby face really does not work as well. He needs to be healed. That's when his best work comes out.
And tell me, you end the show right here, correct? That's where the logo pops up, copyright. Okay, go to whatever movie you have on next, right? No. Yeah. Because we see MJF and he's like, oh, this is so beautiful. I'm not going to try to tear up, blah, 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 And then I forget what else he says, something to Jake Hager. He's like, oh, and then, not Jake Hager, Wardlow. Then Wardlow smiles and he's like, oh, yeah, we have the Iceman here. And, they're beating up Dean Malenko, which Dean Malenko would probably still kick the shit out of, all these guys.
Both of them, yeah.
Yeah, but then, the Inner Circle, they run as fast as they can, like the gingerbread man. To the football field, and why? I understand. They're like, oh, Jericho and Malenko, that's his good friend. Shouldn't it have been like, I know it's been done with Papa Buck, but like, do Jericho's dad, or do something else, or better yet, don't do this at all.
Yeah.
This was so shitty, and they pile drive Santana and Ortiz through the tables. FTR does, I believe, and it's like,
FTR did that to them.
What was the point? This is what we're supposed to see at the pay-per-view, is it not? Thank you.
Now you save those spots for the pay-per-view. You save those things.
This was so shitty. They can't help themselves. It's like, like let's say your mom puts all the Christmas presents out a couple days before under the tree. And you're like, oh, can I open them? And she's like, no, don't be bullshit. You wait till the 25th. It's like he can't wait. Tony Khan just has to rip open all his toys as soon as he sees them. He can't wait.
And remember, Paul, when you're in the Pinnacle, you're always on top. So, of course, upper hand by the heels, it means that, like, on the day of the pay-per-view, baby faces are going to win. So, unfortunately, destruction for the Pinnacle, but you brought up a really great point. If the Inner Circle actually splits up, it's actually a good thing for all of them because they can actually go separate routes. And then later on, you maybe wait like a year, 2 years, then bring them back. Something different.
Yeah, because, and actually speaking of title reigns, there was a short title reign that you actually forget about. FTR, they could have been like, debuted with MJF, whatever, be a team, have a couple matches, get signed to the Pinnacle, and do this. And then if the Pinnacle splits up here, Then they go back in the tag division. Then they start winning matches. You ride the momentum of being in the Pinnacle, and you're the most legit team in wrestling. Then you win the tag belts. Then they can beat the Young Bucks here because they can be baby faces. Because when the heel group splits up, you're probably going to turn some guys baby face. Yes. And they can be a bunch of badass baby faces. But my whole thing is if the Pinnacle splits up, where do you go? MJF already had his title shot. So what's he going to go right back into the title picture again? No.
It's really different. It's really difficult when they book themselves in this kind of situations. But like you said, I actually, now that you make me think about it, I'm going to say like that the Inner Circle is going to split up. It's a lot easier because you can do better things with them split up than
if you had a brain and you understood how wrestling works and storylines and everything like that. But look who we're talking about here. So the Inner Circle is going to stay together so he can keep playing Judas and all that.
And then you see the Jericho, and I love Judas, but like 3 years, come on, man. Can I get something different? Please. Don't forget, family, after Double or Nothing is over, we will be live, John Paul and myself, analyzing every single thing, every single move, every single awful outcome that we're going to see in this show. But hopefully there's some savable things. We're going to celebrate Britt Baker winning the Women's Championship. I want to say thank you one more time.
Speaking of Women's Championship, I was going to say they are going to have Serena Deeb versus Riho for the NWA. So if Riho wins that, maybe I'll just stop watching it right there on the pre-show.
Exactly. So, family, thank you so very much for being with us. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and where else, Paul?
Make sure you follow us, Rope Break on Facebook, OG Rope Break on Twitter, Original Rope Break on Instagram, and, of course, right here on YouTube, the home of the #1 podcast, The Original Rope Break.
Family, we'll see you tomorrow, Sunday. Have a great day. You and me have one more thing that is left to say, and that is...